Hi, everyone, and welcome to this webinar entitled Switch from Salesforce to iCRM. My name's John Carini, and I will be taking you through the webinar here from lovely Chatham, New Jersey, which is kind of New York City-ish. First off, there is time for questions and answers. So if you have questions, please put it in the chat, which is the normal YouTube comments area. So I already put a few comments in there, so you should see them there. If you do have questions, then please type them in there, and we'll actually try to address your questions in real time. First question is, one sec, I just want to get my setup going here. First question is, why are you looking to switch from Salesforce to iCRM or maybe something else? So I put that in the chat. So if you have the answer to that, please type it in right now. Also, if you're watching this in the future, this webinar is being recorded and it will be available at any time at this same URL. So if you're watching in the future, type it in there, because most of our listeners actually watch the future broadcast, not the live one. But I love the people that watch the live ones. It's great. So please let us know why you're looking to do this. And even if you're not here live, we'll try to come in and answer help you with your questions or comments or whatever. So the obligatory subscribe slide is my first slide here. Please subscribe, and we'll notify you of future videos. I'll try really hard to make it good content, so it's of value to you. And then it's a joke, but then I can tell my kids I'm an influencer if you all subscribe, because we have quite a number of subscriptions, get thousands and thousands of views. Anyway, I would very much appreciate it if you would subscribe. So we'll get started with just a few slides in a slide deck, and then I'll go to a live demo where I'll show iCRM. So starting out with just a little bit about the company. So we've actually been around for more than 20 years, and the company was started under the concept that CRM should be inside of your inbox, and that in your inbox is where you actually interact with your customers, and therefore that's where CRM should start. That doesn't end there. We've won all sorts of awards. We have thousands of customers. We have an office in the USA, as well as Europe and Asia, so we kind of cover the globe there. And we really are dedicated to quality. Here's some of the awards we've won over the years. Here's the customers. So I know those are like big names for the most part. Excuse me, I still need some coffee. Those are some big names for the most part, but iCRM is typically used by like small to medium-sized companies. So if you are a small to medium-sized company, you're in the right place. Quick overview of our products. We have iCRM, which obviously we're looking at here in this webinar, but then we also make these connectors that connect Gmail and Outlook with other CRMs. So, obviously we support Salesforce with that, Dynamics, Oracle, Sugar, NetSuite, Zoho, and our own iCRM. So these connectors that we sell for these other products actually come included with iCRM, right? So you don't have to pay more for it. And that'll be a theme. You really don't have to pay more for anything in iCRM, and I'll talk more about that in just a bit. And then we have a third product. It's called Social Insights, and basically Social Insights lets you get leads from LinkedIn and put them in your CRM. And we support that with other CRMs like Salesforce and Dynamics. And of course, it's included with iCRM. So basically, you buy iCRM, you get these connectors for Gmail or Outlook, and then you also get Social Insights, which basically lets you go to any LinkedIn profile and get a lead and store it in iCRM. Just FYI, the cost of the connector and Social Insights is basically the same price as iCRM itself. And we have customers, like that use Salesforce, for example, and are paying us for these email connectors and social insights, and they're actually paying more than it would cost them to just use iCRM. Then they're paying Salesforce on top of that. So why would you consider a switch to iCRM, or why would you consider iCRM in general? Well, first of all, it's a full-featured, very flexible, easy-to-use CRM. It's built into your email. It's built into Gmail and Outlook. Everything works on mobile. There's actually more than one mobile client. There's like an iPad client that's special for tablets, and then there's a regular mobile client. And then on top of that, the mobile actually works inside of the email integration. So it's really cool. So let me just do that real quick. Yep. And then we charge one price, and we do everything for you. We import your data. We help you import your data at no additional charge. You can do it from the user interface, and I'll discuss that in a little bit. Or you can give us a spreadsheet and we'll do it for you. We configure iCRM for you too. We help you set it up. And everything's included at one price, which is around $30 per user per month. There's only one version of iCRM. It's called the unlimited version. We don't play these games where we say, oh, you can have this group version for a very low price, and then next week we say, oh, you need a different version and that costs more. No, there's just one price for it. I'll talk more about pricing later. So iCRM's integrated with many of the things you already use, like QuickBooks, and we can tie it to your website with WordPress, and of course Outlook and Gmail and so on, and LinkedIn as well through social insights. And the whole idea is to kind of do everything from email. And I'll show this live in just a second. But basically, you can be using your email and the CRM at the same time. And we very much advocate for that. You can open up iCRM in a regular web browser, and I'll actually start out with that. But again, it works right inside your Gmail or Outlook. And also the calendar. So it works right inside the calendars. As I mentioned, everything works on mobile. There's more than one mobile client. And I'm not going to go too much into how to install it. I'll just show you on the screen. Okay, and here's just an overview of some of the features. It's a full-featured CRM that has, accounts and contacts, opportunities, leads, document library, products, call reports. It's got all sorts of automations and workflows, custom modules, custom fields, and it's even got a subscription or a recurring revenue tracking piece, which is really handy. And one thing I'll say, it is a robust CRM, but we try to make it easy. And I would always recommend that you configure the solution to make it easier, not to make it this big elaborate thing that's hard to use. And I think that's the mistake that most CRM implementations actually have, is they try to make it too much. They're constantly adding things, and it becomes almost unusable when you use the configuration features to make the product really big and difficult to use. So let's get into the live demo. Let me share my screen, which might take a sec here. Let me share a window. We'll do, hang on one second. No, we'll do entire screen. Okay, so I'm showing the iCRM main dashboard, right? You can see in the upper left here, I'm clicked on the dashboard in my web browser, which happens to be Chrome, but it works in any browser. It also works on, I mentioned on your mobile device, it works in Safari, and we even have a Mac app. So if you're a Mac user, you can use our Mac app, and it works the same way. Navigation's pretty simple. Basically, you can click across these tabs across the top. Like, for example, I can go to the accounts area here. I can go to the contacts, to the leads, and the opportunities, just like this. And there's a really easy search in the upper right here too. where you can search for all sorts of different, whatever you want inside the system. So I'll search for James. Okay, and you can see it comes up and it searches the whole entire iCRM. And if I click on this person, James, you'll see it comes up with James, who's a contact in iCRM. And I can just edit the contact. It has the things you would expect on a contact form, like name, address, phone number, and all that stuff. Now, this form, in this case, this is the contact form, and every other form in iCRM are quickly and easily configurable, right? So you literally just click on this little wrench icon here, and up comes in this case, because I was on the contact form, up comes the contact form, and I can drag and drop fields, move them around, or add fields right to this form, right like this. What do I want? A date field, a numeric field, whatever. So every single form on every single screen is super easily configurable. You don't need an army of consultants, and you don't need to hire an army of consultants or a partner or something to get this set up. You can kind of do it yourself, and with our help, right? So we'll help you do this. Okay, so just a little bit more. I'm actually sitting here on a contact. If I go into the related items, you can see everything that's going on with this contact, including any opportunities, which I do have a few opportunities open, as you can see, and cases, which are like trouble tickets. I have a few of those open too. Just one sec. And you can obviously click on these. So if I want to click on this opportunity and see what it's about, I can see here's an opportunity that I can edit, and it's got like line items. You can build up line items. You can send a PDF quote from the opportunity and all that. So it takes you right through the point where you make the deal and even beyond. Okay, so just more exploring. I'm going to hop into opportunities here real quick. So this is what we call a pipeline view. And the pipeline view is like a graphical view that lets you drag and drop your opportunities and bring them to different statuses, right? So an opportunity is, in case you don't know, it really is an opportunity to sell something, right? In CRM. And most CRMs use this terminology. And by the way, we have a ton of experience with all the other CRMs too. So if you have questions about, Dynamics or Salesforce or whatever, like we're not going to actually support you in using Salesforce, but we know the differences. And if you're looking at different CRMs, a lot of times we can tell you what the best one is for you. Hopefully it's ours, but we're completely honest. And if we don't think you're for us, we'll tell you right away if you're looking for something we don't do. But the bottom line is the vast majority of companies, our iCRM and other CRMs do more than you probably need. So you need to go with something that's like easy to set up, easy to use, and doesn't cost a fortune. And that's my personal opinion on that. So here's the opportunities. This is called a pipeline view, but you can see anything in a list view too, right? So if I want to go to a list by opportunities by date, you can see here's the opportunities by date, and I can sort by the date column here. And see these views here, they're like on-screen reports. And you can customize these any way you like as well. And then in addition, there's a reporting module where you can create reports which include graphs and charts and all that, as you can see here. And these are completely configurable too. You can export them to a PDF or a spreadsheet or whatever you want. So we're not like holding your data either. You can get your data out at any time when you go with us. So anyway, I showed a lot of the main screen iCRM things. I want to show you a little bit about the email integration and And another question I have is, what email client are you using? So are you using Gmail or Outlook? Basically, I'm asking. And what I'll do is I'll start out in Gmail, but I'll go over to Outlook. But I'm just curious about that. So please put that in the comments area. I'll I'm asking. So if you let me know what you're using. So here I am in my inbox, and let's say you use Gmail and you want to try iCRM. The first thing I think you should do is add it to Gmail, and it'll set up the rest of it automatically. So in order to do that, you can do get add-ons right here. See this little plus sign at the bottom here, and then just type in iCRM, and it'll come up. Here's iCRM for G Suite. Open this, install it. Once it's installed, it will show this little icon. See this little eye icon here on the right side of Gmail. Right, this shows up anytime you're in Gmail, even on a mobile device in any browser. It's not a Chrome extension. This is a Gmail add-on. And you just click on it, and the first time you do it, it'll ask you a few questions. But once you get logged in, it'll look something like this. And then you can just open iCRM in a full screen right from here, right? If you just click on this button, it'll also give you like any tasks that are due, and so on and so forth when you're just sitting in your inbox. But the real power is when you open a message. So if I open a message from someone who's in iCRM, you'll see the right side of my screen here changes. And it's detected. I've opened this message from James Person here, right? James is asking for a quote. And you can see on the right-hand side, it's detected that James is indeed found inside of iCRM, and he's a contact in iCRM. And as I scroll down, you can see his phone number, his email. You can see here's a link to his LinkedIn profile, as well as any other social media stuff. And then it shows me everything else about James in the CRM, including all my opportunities, subscriptions, cases, like everything, just like when I was sitting on James's record in the web browser. But it brings it up automatically because I just received this message from James. So hopefully that makes sense. Basically, we're giving you all the information you need from the CRM as you're interacting with this person in Outlook. Now, maybe this message is important. He wants a quote. If I want to just log the email and save it to James, I can do that. I'll just click this add button, and that's it. The message is logged in iCRM. And if there's any attachments or anything, they're sent to iCRM as well. And if you want to see, I can click open here next to the message, right? And then I can do open in full screen, and it takes me to this message in iCRM. You can see, in fact, it just did get logged there against James Person, right? Going back to Gmail here, okay? So maybe, the easiest thing is to just save the message against the contact. But if you wanted to link the email to any other object or even a custom object, you can do that too. So if I want to select an opportunity or a case, maybe they were reporting a problem or something, I could do that as well. So you can save the email and link it to anything in iCRM. And by the way, if you do use Salesforce and you don't want to switch, you can buy this piece for Salesforce too, or any of the other popular CRMs. And anyway, just exploring this a little bit more, there's a whole lot you can do here. For example, I can open this contact right here and see it in the sidebar, right, including the related items. I can just put it in edit mode, like maybe they shared some more information and I want to edit the contact in iCRM. I can edit everything. And if you create custom fields in iCRM, they automatically show there. And then maybe I just want to like open it in full screen and see this contact in iCRM in a full screen, so I can have more real estate and see everything. I can do that too. So the other use case is when you get a message from someone that is not in the CRM yet, right? So if I, for example, here's Bill Gates just messaged me, right? And you can see that, I've just gotten introduced to Bill, so he's not in iCRM in this case. And I can just quickly add Bill as either a lead or a contact right from this sidebar. It gives me some social media information here, but if I just click this plus button to add to leads, I can add Bill. And you can see it actually takes a job title. In this case, it came from social media. In this case, it came from LinkedIn when I created it, and it populates his name and email address and all that. And I can just submit it, and that's it. This new person is then added to my iCRM just like that. So we make it really easy for you to use it out of email. Let's go over to Outlook really quick. And it's the same thing in Outlook. And by the way, all this works in your calendar too. So you can save items against your calendar and so on. So let's go to my inbox here. And I'm in Adam Jotley. So here's another message from James. This is a different message, right? And you can see here that James is asking about an order. I'm just making my screen a little bigger here. And that's great. And as you can see, again, when I open a message, if I pin this iCRM, it's called an add-in in Outlook. It's an add-on in Google. It shows me all the information about this person, including all the related items in my CRM. By the way, to get iCRM, if you're using Outlook and not Gmail and you want to try iCRM, I suggest you click on Get Add-ins here, right? Sometimes it shows up at the top, and then just search for iCRM here and add it. And then once it's added, it will show up here. Like you can see this iCRM for Outlook. Click on it and then make sure you pin it. You click this pin. That way, every time you open a message in Outlook, it will open our sidebar and you can use the CRM at the same time. So here you can see, again, I open this message. James would like to place an order. He wants to be contacted. And it says it's found in iCRM, right, which is great. And you can see the company. You can open the contact here and edit it. And then just as I did before, I want to log this email to iCRM. I just click the add and bingo, the message is added to iCRM just like that. So you can, have a history of all the email messages and everything that you're doing with them. I can just click on this open contact, and then maybe I want to open it in the full screen, right? And I'll bring that up, actually up here. It'll just open that contact in a full screen in iCRM. And maybe I want to log a maybe I'm going to log a call. I made a phone call and I want to log it right here. I can do that if they emailed me and said, hey, call me back, and I can log the call here and put any details about the call in and so on. So basically, we're letting you use your CRM from your inbox without ever leaving it. And virtually every aspect of the CRM is available from your inbox. And it works the same way if I get a message from someone that's not in the CRM, right? Like again, Bill Gates. Here I am in Outlook. I can add this person as a lead or a contact just like that. It's really simple. So anyway, that's the email integration. If you have any questions, please let me know. There was one question from Colette. So Colette, do we offer a certification program? So we're honored that you are interested in representing us. So the way I think we usually do this is usually we would ask that you bring one customer that we can work with together to the table. And then after that, you'd probably be ready to take care of some others on your own. So anyway, we're flattered that you are interested in using us as something you would refer to all your clients. If I have time here, I'm just going to go into mobile really quick. And there's a full mobile client, but what I find really impressive is is the email integration on mobile. So it works in both Outlook and Gmail, but I'm going to show Gmail this time. We're going back to Gmail. So this is my actual, I'm going to try to mirror my screen here. Oh, here we go. This is my actual mobile phone, right? And you can see here's my inbox we were just in. And if I open up a message from my inbox, you can here's one of those messages. And I click on the little eye icon. You see this little eye icon down at the bottom here. If I click on it, you'll see instead of on the right-hand side, everything is available in my inbox on my mobile phone from the bottom in this case. And if I can pull it up and make it full screen, and everything you saw me do from inside of email, everything is here. One feature I love on mobile is the reply using template. So I'm going to do that. I clicked on reply using template. Obviously, this works in the web browser too, but I can pick an email template, and iCRM has email templates, right? And oftentimes, especially on mobile, people ask like very detailed questions, and it requires links and screenshots and all that. And if you're on a mobile phone, you can't do that. So I can just, let me actually use a different template really quick. Hang on. Let's go back. Yeah, let's do this one. And I can create a reply. And you could see, like, look at all this text. And it even has an image, a graphic, animated GIF in this case. And there's links and all that. And when you're on mobile, you cannot answer in detail like this. But now you can, because you can use an email template from iCRM and right from your mobile device, bring it up in Gmail, and I just click send, and bingo, it's sent. That's it. And I can close this up, and you can see here's the message. It's sent with all this information. And love the templates. But bottom line is, on your mobile device, all the integration works, and we have multiple mobile clients. So really, iCRM can do almost anything. I'll go back to the main screen, and maybe what I'll do is I'll just show you something about the LinkedIn integration now, which is really slick. And I'll get you out of here. This doesn't have to be a 5-hour webinar, that's for sure. The last thing you need is a long webinar like that. And then I'll go back to pricing, and I'll explain the pricing in detail, right? So let me go here. So I'm back here, and let's go to. So this is LinkedIn, right? And this is actually my personal LinkedIn. And if you search for somebody on LinkedIn, and even famous people, by the way. So let's take Robert Herkovic, which he's like a Shark Tank guy, right? And you can see that when I go to his LinkedIn profile, if I have the iCRM LinkedIn extension installed in my Chrome web browser, it actually looks to iCRM and it says, hey, this person doesn't exist in iCRM, and it gives me some more social media links and all that. But I can add this person as either a contact or a lead right from LinkedIn. So if I click add as lead, you'll see it actually populates the screen for me, populates a bunch of information on the screen. And then if I go down here to the email address, you can see that sometimes it gets the email address automatically, and sometimes you have to put the website of the person in there and then click get email. And you can see that it did retrieve the email address for this famous person. Now, this famous person is probably hiding their email address, right? So like they make it very difficult to get their real email address because they're famous and they don't want people bothering them. But this got the real work email address. If you look in like the contact info here, usually they won't have an email address at all, or they'll have some generic email address, right? and we're able to retrieve the real work email address, even though they didn't put it in their contact info on LinkedIn, and then save it as a let's go to Mark Benioff. Here we go. So this is the CEO of Salesforce, who I've actually met a few times. And you can see that he actually lists his email address as CEO at salesforce.com, right? It's right here. But that's not his real email address. We all know that. So I'm going to add Mark as a lead, right? And in the job title, he's got his fake email address. Let's get rid of that. He's really CEO, right? And then I'm going to go down to the URL. I don't have to put a URL in this case. And it retrieved Mark's real email address, Mark_Benioff at salesforce.com. I click save, and that's it. This is saved in my iCRM. And now you can see here, it is in fact, when next time I go to his LinkedIn profile, it'll say, oh, I found this in iCRM. And if I want to open it in iCRM, I can just click open and it comes up in iCRM. So that's the LinkedIn integration. Going to go back to the presentation now and wrap up here. Any more questions, please do include them. So let's go into a little more detail about the pricing. Basically, we have what I call it no-nonsense pricing, right? It's just, first of all, this is what the connectors cost. So this is included with iCRM, right? If you have Salesforce and you want to use our email connectors, they're around $25 per month. But iCRM for Gmail or Outlook, the monthly price is $34.95 per user per month. If you sign up on a monthly contract, we let you cancel at any time. We don't play games and try to lock you in. So if you sign up monthly, it's $34.95, right? And then for an annual contract, it's $29.95 per user per month, and that just renews every year. And if you do have a lot of users, like 50 or more, we can negotiate everything. It includes the connector for Gmail and Outlook. And then there's really, nothing more to buy. Everything's included. The paid version of iCRM includes everything we offer, like the LinkedIn integration, like the connector for Gmail and Outlook, everything. We even help you set it up and import your data. And at the end of the day, you're going with us. We're not trying to upsell you like the other vendors at every juncture. Most of the other vendors have multiple price points, and they let you in at some really, really low price point. And then what they do is they tell you, oh, you need tires with that car, fine, and charge you literally sometimes 10 times more in the end than what you paid when you signed up. We have this one price, which is around $30 a month, and we sign you up. It's per user per month, by the way. We sign you up and you get everything. We don't ask you to upgrade. We don't say you need an army of consultants to get it installed for thousands and thousands of dollars. We don't say all these things. We actually deliver a real solution that you can use with everything for that one price. So that's our story. If you do have questions and you're watching the recorded demo, shoot them to sales@ienterprises.com. You can also call me. My number's on the screen. I thank you. Thank you so much for attending. If there's no more questions, we'll just wrap up. And again, if you're watching this in a recorded fashion and you do have questions, please do contact us at sales@ienterprises.com or install one of the free trials as I showed in the webinar. Thank you very much. Happy holidays, everyone. Have a fantastic day and enjoy the holidays.